Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch Vikings, Valhalla. It's gonna take me some time, to say it right again. Season 2, episode 1. I'm glad to be back for this season 2 of this show. If you want to see my reaction videos about the entire season 1, I'm gonna put the link, for the playlist that I made for this show. For those of you who are really discovering my channel for this video, you have to know that I binge watched all of the season 1, but for sure also I made reaction videos about Vikings, about the last seasons of Vikings, and clearly you know how much I loved that show. You know also that I began my channel with that show. You know how much I loved these characters. You know how much I cried for them. So if you don't know it and if you're interested to see me really in a total mess, totally destroyed, heartbroken and all, please go watch these reaction videos also. Okay, today we are right there for the season 2 of Vikings Valhalla. We are not there for the original show Vikings. But I think that it's gonna be something each time that I'm gonna begin a new season of this show. At the beginning, at least for some episodes, I think that I'm not gonna be able to not compare the two shows and to just consider this show for what it is. I mean, really during my binge watching of the first season, I said it in the beginning that we should do that and that we have to do that. We have to not make comparison, that it's a show really for itself, that it's not okay to make the comparison also because it's not the same production behind it and it's not the same characters and we can't have a family story like we had during Vikings. Vikings, it was okay an historic show, but it was also a drama show, it was a family show, like a lot of things like that, and by another production, by other writers. So Vikings Valhalla, in fact, it's totally something else. But still, I think that it's natural to make the comparison. It's natural to think about it. It's natural to do it. And I did it at the beginning of the season 1, and after that, I just jumped into this show, this particular show, and I began to love these characters, and I really involved myself into the story and all. That was really cool. And I did not forget the original show Vikings, but I didn't make the comparison anymore, like around the episode 3 or something like that. But I have to confess, to be honest with you guys, that beginning this season 2 with you guys, I have okay in mind all of what I thought about the season 1 of Vikings Valhalla, but for sure I'm gonna think a little about the original show Vikings. And I think that some fans like me of Vikings made that decision of watching this show and appreciated it for what it was, but I think also that a lot of fans of the original Vikings tried it, but without really making that effort. And really, when you're not making that effort at the beginning, when you're not, programming yourself to be like that even before beginning the show, for sure it's rough to appreciate it for what it is, to not make the comparison at all, because it's so different in a way that you can't, and I think that's why this show had a lot of good reviews, like mine. I had a lot of good thoughts, opinions about this show, but I think that it's also why there were not passionate opinions, and on the contrary of passionate haters of this show who really didn't like it at all and were really rough with the show, and in particular with the casting. I didn't appreciate that, to see people being mad at the casting and all, like judging that if this show is not working, it's not because of the story, because the story, it's a story of the Vikings, so they are just following it and are dealing well with it. That I think that you can't deny it, at least for the Vikings universe, for this universe of this show, of these shows. still they are respecting the same universe, the same rules, you know, behind it. But yes, they were judging more the casting because of that, and yes, I did not appreciate that because the thing that a lot of people... Ooh, that's a helicopter. Wait. I'm living near to an hospital. That's why. These people, I really did not appreciate the fact that they were saying that this casting was bad because they were not judging, you know, the way that these actors and actresses were playing. They were judging their looks. Like, I read a lot of reviews, you know, and articles even about the fact that this casting was too beautiful to play Vikings characters, that it was not like the original show Vikings, which was more rough and stuff like that, more brutal, and also with the appearance of the casting and all. And really, I did not appreciate that because judging someone by how great that person is looking, like, that's a little weird. And for me, you know, when I'm judging if an actor or an actress is good enough, it's by how this person is playing, and for me they were really playing well, so that's why I didn't share that opinion at all. And also, saying that, for me it's a little hypocrite, because if you have to consider Björn, Ivar and all of them, like, clearly I'm not sure that you can say that they were bad looking, like no one loved how they appeared, and really we didn't see them, you know, naked and stuff like that. No naked scenes in Vikings, not at all. Good looking guys in Vikings, not at all. Come on, that's a little hypocrite, and because of that, you know, you can't say that this casting of Vikings Valhalla is too beautiful in comparison of what Vikings should be like into the original Vikings. It was not like that. Ragnar, Björn, Ivar, all of them, Vitzerk, I'm not gonna consider that reason, you know, acceptable, and really the fact that I read it at multiple occasions, it made me a little mad. So see, I'm totally honest with you guys, saying that for sure I'm gonna have in mind Vikings, the original show, for some episodes, even now at the beginning of the season 2, but I know that I have to make that job, you know, of just considering this show for what it is, and I really appreciated the season 1, I really appreciated these characters, the story and all, it worked well. And you know, knowing all of that, you know, about how I'm reacting, how I'm thinking, I can still tell you that these haters, you know, of this show, it's in majority, you know, people who didn't make that effort when they began the season 1 of this show to just consider this show for what it was, and people who have really weird reasons also sometimes to hate it. It's like that. Okay, about this season 2, I think that we're gonna have a time jump. I don't think that I saw the trailer of this season 2. You know that I'm not watching a lot of trailers, and in particular long trailers, because I want to avoid spoilers about a show. You know, I really want to discover a story with the season, with these episodes and all. I don't want to see in advance what I'm gonna have. I don't want to see everything and all. I'm saying that, you know, for Vikings Valhalla, but also for all of the shows that I watch. But normally I'm still watching one right there, I can't remember. For me, yes, we need a time jump. For the characters, oh, we're gonna have Freydis with Harald for sure at the beginning. I hope that they are great together. Leif, I was truly afraid for him. I mean, afraid. I think that he can go crazy really quick. I don't know. For this season, do I have really expectations for it? For sure, I want them to continue to explore the story, you know, I mean the story, like the history of that country and all. I want them to continue with that. For sure, I want them to continue, you know, their relationship. I'm not just talking about love relationships, I'm also thinking, you know, about the brother and sister relationship right there. I want them to continue and maybe to go more into the religious aspect, which is really important into that universe. For sure it was really important into the universe of Vikings, the original show. But I think that for this universe, if you are talking about Vikings in general, you have to consider a religious aspect. So I hope that they're gonna talk about it even more during this season 2. And I'm expecting also to have new important characters. Like, if I'm thinking about the season 1, for sure we had many important characters. But you know, important characters, not main ones. Main ones, we have 3 main characters. I want more than just 3. Maybe it's the important ones of the season 1 who can become, you know, main ones during the season 2, but I don't know if you understand what I just said. Like, for me, a show like that should have almost 10 main characters, and after that, other important characters for the story and all. Right there, after the season 1, I have the impression that we have 3 main characters and a lot of other important characters for the story. Do you understand what I mean? I want that to change, like maybe I want to spend more time with the other characters, or maybe just you can create new characters, something like that. I want, you know, to involve my feelings, I want to get attached to more characters than during the season 1. That's it. That's my expectations for the season 2 that I'm gonna begin right now. Remember that if you want, you have my Patreon on which you can have this episode earlier. You're gonna have 1 episode of advance on my Patreon and an extended all for action part. I think that it's long episodes, so in majority I think that I'm gonna put extended action part, but maybe one day for big episode, if I can't cut into it, I'm gonna put the 4 action part. I can't know in advance, you know. Check the description to know that, or check also the schedule that I post each Monday morning on YouTube, Patreon and Twitter to know that. And yes, Patreon, it's really the best way to support me if you want, if you can also. It can be appreciated even more during this period of time, because YouTube and me, that's it, we are not in good terms anymore. I'm shadowbound again. You know, it's really like that, my relationship with YouTube, and right now, we are right there. I'm gonna tell you, you know, when it's gonna get better. Like, I'm also transparent with you guys with that, but right now it's right there. So if you were wondering about following me or not on Patreon, maybe it's the right time, and you have these advantages. 1 episode of advance and an extended direction part, which is gonna be really longer because it's long episodes, you know. Okay, let's go for this episode 1. Let's go back into that universe. I'm excited about that, you know, to be back. It's a little shiny today, as you can see.
My arrow struck the heart. You're not only cooking, but you're carrying it.
Oh, the 2 of you. You're living right there together? So we had a time jump.
Let's exchange that dressing. The wound is set. The infection is gone.
Okay.
I told you. But it's not for you.
So it's not a big time jump.
Not enough for me to go to Kattegat. I cannot stay here forever. I must meet with Folkbeard and demand what is mine.
Forkbeard did not bring an army to Kattegat to protect your agreement.
You will understand when I explain it to him.
He is hunting Olaf. You know nothing about the state of Kattegat now, or who is still alive.
Which is
And you
all
don't
there
want
is
to know,
return.
Freydis?
I'm not frightened of Folkbeard. And what would you rather do? Stay here in the wilderness?
Yes. What is wrong with raising children in a place where they will know peace instead of war?
Because my children are meant to be rulers of Norway.
Your children?
Yes, and Freydis, you're a warrior. I love the fact that she wants to have a normal life, but come on, girl, you're a warrior.
I must go back. You know this. And I want you to come with me. Wolf needs to pay for what he did.
You're talking to yourself?
Come. Please. We must keep going.
Oh no! You're really talking to yourself! Fuck! I thought... no. What, I said that he would go crazy during this season.
King Knut sends word. won 2 great battles against the Wends. He again expresses his concerns about your security.
My husband would not be worried about my security if you did not give him reason to.
I give him reason to because it's my job to safeguard your security and London's. I've heard things in the alehouses.
I'm not concerned about what you've heard in the alehouse.
You should. You always
Our
should.
security is excellent.
Who are you?
Why'd you leave?
She found out about us. She would send you away. I couldn't bear that. When you have lost everything as I have, you become accustomed to preparing against the worst so as not to ever have it happen again. You must get used to that about me. It is who I am.
Why?
What do you dream?
I'm not so sure of your love for her.
Yes. Your hopes.
I see many children. And they would have your love, which is pure. And they would grow up without the fear that I did. And when they had grown up, scatter them throughout the country, each to their own kingdom, where they would prosper. All but the oldest. He'd be special. A great warrior. Well educated. And wise.
For that, you're sincere about that.
And one day,
What he wants for the future.
he'd be king.
Neither your family nor mine are of royal blood.
He didn't say that. It would be your children.
You asked me about my dream. When a dream's ever impossible.
What did you see?
I thought I saw a wolf. But I was mistaken.
Were you? Did you feel threatened?
A danger
No,
coming?
just startled. Surprised.
The signs you so desperately look for are everywhere, Freydis. If only you would trust what you see and feel. This is a peaceful place. But the cries you run from have not ceased. Simply because you cannot hear them.
What are you doing?
Her sword! She's taking her sword.
I'm going to Kattegat with you.
They say Svein Forgert is going to hang Olaf. Hanging, in English tradition, should be the blood eagle. And that's a proper Viking execution. A lot of the old ways are disappearing.
Mm.
Go away.
I think he knows who you are.
You're Leif, huh?
Brother Freydis.
My name is Jorundur.
Jorundur?
Will you assist me here for the execution?
Do you care?
I think that she will.
Who consider her the last daughter of Uppsala to make sure that Christian tyrant Olaf Haraldsson gets what he deserves.
He'll get what he deserves. He raised an army in secret. Conspired with others to wrench it from my son's empire. And she came. Kill me. Spare me. Oh, but I don't intend to kill you. I know
No?
a place. Canute is locked in a fight for Denmark, and I must join him. I'm installing my grandson Svein as king of Norway. You won't last a month before the Jarls kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, they won't. Because you'll protect him. If you think I will be that boy's guardian just to save my life, you're a fool.
What would he benefit, from that? To keep his life? For someone like him?
Father!
Okay! Now I know.
Guide him to be king, a Viking, a man. Shield him against all enemies as if he was your own blood. And I will do the same with your son.
A son for a
If
son?
you do this,
It's not equal,
if anything should happen to Spain,
Bye bye, Magnus.
I
I did what I did.
For your own insatiable greed.
I was within my rights as a wife.
You threatened my son's kingdom. I should have you killed.
You know, I was thinking, am I gonna regret her? As a character, I don't love her, but I think that she's interesting. Her position, you know.
Here. In Kattegat.
Yes, here in Kattegat.
You have brought me to the edge of the earth.
Oh, Alvivu, be grateful you're still on this earth. That my grandson, Svein Knudsen, will be the new king of Norway. Queen
It's
of
understandable.
Denmark will remain here in Kattegat as his regent.
It's worse than the worst.
I have placed Jarl Olaf Haraldsson, once an enemy, but now my friend, as the king's protector. Be no execution today.
If you want to start a rebellion, really, you're not doing more than that.
Disappointed. We must change that.
3 people they don't know and or they hate.
My brother Harald Sigurdsson, he believes he is the rightful king of Norway. He did witch Freydis to support his quest. They are at this moment raising a great pagan army march against Kattegat. But I will not let that happen.
What now?
This chest and 2 more like it for the man or family who brings me their heads.
Okay. And they're coming. So about Kattegat, maybe you shouldn't come.
You're her, aren't you?
Who?
You're Freydis, the keeper of the faith, aren't you?
The keeper of the face.
Don't know who you meant. I saw a shield cast from Kattegat. I recognize your sword.
Mm-hmm.
You come to help us, haven't you?
You're a legend, my dear.
No. I am sorry, but you are mistaken. Our village was destroyed by Korra before the fall of Kattegat. And now the Christian Jarls will not let us rebuild. We are going to find a new home.
We've heard the ships waiting for us out there.
To take you where? To a new Uppsala across the sea.
Mm.
A place called Jomsborg.
You're gonna be tempted to go?